It doesn't have to be like this. Labour doesn't need to go into another civil war, as some are suggesting. Those who are calling for Starmer's head right now because he's moved too far to the right or because he's still supporting Brexit with phrases like make Brexit work. What's the plan? Another Corbyn-style leader who'll swing the party back towards the hard left, making an electoral pact with the Lib Dems impossible? And even if we had a leader who firmly opposed Brexit, we've already seen that without an electoral pact, those anti-Brexit votes are split between several parties. The answer is not to keep swinging from left to centre and back again. The answer is to make sure that the Labour leader gives us a way to end that cycle. Because as you know, the majority of UK votes have gone to parties to the left of the Conservatives in almost every single election since World War II. And yet the Tories have had a controlling majority over Parliament for most of the last century. So this country, more often than not, has a government that's more right-wing than the majority of its voters. Because if all votes counted equally, the majority of MPs would be more left-leaning than the Tories, and Labour would be the biggest party within that progressive majority. And most importantly for this discussion, because all votes would count equally, if Labour decided to split into two separate parties, one true left-wing party and one true centre-left party, that division wouldn't weaken left-wing politics in the UK because anybody who's socialist, liberal, progressive, whatever, would see their votes fairly represented in Parliament. The answer to this situation is not to call anybody who still supports Starmer or firmly oppose Brexit
the most tedious, ridiculous Waitrose customers that you will ever come across.
Because right now, division on the left does weaken us all. The answer is to call out Keir Starmer for failing to support the fair democracy that 80% of his members want, and if that doesn't work, replace him with somebody who will. This doesn't need to be factional. I'm talking to you as somebody who was kicked out of the Labour Party under Corbyn and rejected from the Labour Party under Starmer. I'm talking as somebody who's seen both Labour leaders ignore the wishes of their members for years. And I'm just trying to avoid history repeating itself because it's the people of the UK who suffer. I do not give a fuck about the differences between socialism and centrism when the only thing that comes from that division is conservatism. Proportional representation and a fair democracy is clearly the one thing that you all agree on, so focus on that and not taking lumps out of each other.